There's a government program running right now that could put up to $8,400 back in your pocket this year. About 6 million people who qualify for it have never even applied, because almost nobody tells them it exists. That's just one of 3 forms we're covering today. The other 2 could mean thousands more, some of it retroactive, some of it every single month, for life. None of this gets mailed to you automatically. You have to know the name of the form, and you have to file it yourself. Today, the real 2026 status of the Social Security repayment law, and who's still owed money and hasn't filed. The one Medicare form that can lower your premium after a life event. And the almost secret program that pays your Medicare premium every month if your income qualifies. I'm Ray. Stick around to the end. There's a scam warning you need to hear before you file any of these. Quick note before we start. I'm not affiliated with Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, or any government agency. This is educational, not advice on your specific situation. Always verify at ssa.gov, medicare.gov, or your state Medicaid office before you file. Let's start with the biggest one. Back in 2025, Congress repealed 2 rules called WEP and GPO that had spent decades quietly cutting Social Security for teachers, firefighters, police, and other public workers with a government pension. If that's not you or someone in your family, this specific form doesn't apply. But stay with me. Forms 2 and 3 are for almost everyone. Since then, Social Security has sent out over 3.1 million payments, totaling $17 billion. The average one-time back payment is around $6,710. If you were already collecting a reduced check, that part happened automatically. But here's what almost nobody explains, and it's the actual reason I'm covering this again in 2026. There are 2 very different groups. Group 1, people who had already applied for spousal or survivor benefits and simply got 0 or a reduced amount because of GPO. Those got their back pay all the way to January 2024, automatically. Group 2, people who never applied because an SSA representative told them years ago, your benefit will be 0, don't bother. Those people have to file a brand new application now, and the back pay only covers 6 months from the date they file, not January 2024. One real case. An 81-year-old retiree named Charles never applied for spousal benefits because he'd been told for years it would be 0. He finally filed in January 2025 and only got back pay from July 2024 forward. 6 months. Not the 14 months everyone else got. 4 U.S. senators are currently pushing Social Security to fix this, but as of now, the 6-month rule still stands. If you're in Group 2, the form is SSA 2 for spousal benefits, or SSA 10 for widow or widower benefits. That one's phone only, not online. And if you already filed and think you were shorted, there's a form to protect your claim. SSA 561, Request for Reconsideration. File it now. It doesn't guarantee anything yet, but it locks in your place in line if the rule changes. Second form, SSA 44. We touched on this one briefly in the widow's tax video, but it deserves its own spotlight because almost nobody uses it, and it can save you real money fast. Here's the problem it solves. Your Medicare premium surcharge. It's called IRMAA. Isn't based on your income this year. It's based on your income from 2 years ago. So in 2026, Medicare is looking at your 2024 tax return. If your income has dropped since then, you retired, you got divorced, your spouse passed away, your pension income stopped, or a few other specific life events, you could be paying a premium surcharge based on money you're simply not making anymore. In 2026, that surcharge kicks in above $109,000 for a single filer, $218,000 for a married couple, and it can add over $6,900 a year per person at the higher tiers. SSA 44 lets you tell Social Security, my income today is lower. Recalculate my premium using this year's numbers, not 2 years ago. There are 8 recognized life-changing events. The most common ones are retirement or reduced work hours, marriage, divorce, the death of a spouse, and a drop in pension income. One important detail. Don't file this the moment your income drops. Wait until you actually get an IRMAA determination letter telling you that you owe the surcharge. Then file SSA 44 with your proof, like a letter from your employer or a signed estimate of this year's income. And now the one I think is the biggest surprise on this list. Because I'd bet most of you have never heard its name. It's called a Medicare Savings Program, MSP for short, and unlike the first two, it's not a Social Security form at all. It's run through Medicaid, in your state. There are three main versions. QMB pays your entire Part A and Part B premium, deductibles, and copays. Providers aren't even allowed to bill you for the difference. SLMB and QI pay just your Part B premium. That's $202.90 a month in 2026, gone. To qualify for QMB in most states, your monthly income needs to be under about $1,350 if you're single, $1,824 if you're married, with resources under about $9,950 single, $14,910 married. SLMB and QI have slightly higher income limits, up to around $1,816 single. And here's the number that should stop you. Only about 57% of people who qualify for these programs are actually enrolled. Up to 6 million people who qualify have simply never applied, mostly because they've never heard the name of the program. Enroll, and on top of the premium savings, you automatically get extra help, a program that caps what you pay for prescription drugs at $12.65 per medication in 2026. Put it together, and Medicare Right Center estimates the average value of qualifying for one of these programs, plus extra help, at up to $8,400 a year. There's no single national form for this one. You apply through your state's Medicaid office, and the process varies a little state to state. But the rule is the same everywhere. If you think you might be even close to these numbers, apply. States often don't count all your income or assets the same way, so people who look too high on paper often still qualify. Let's make this concrete with three quick, separate examples. Not one person, just three realistic snapshots. Someone who never filed for spousal benefits under the old GPO rule, filing now, gets about $1,200 a month going forward, plus roughly $7,200 in 6-month back pay, where, if the January 2024 date had applied, it could have been closer to $28,800. That gap is the cost of waiting. Someone whose income dropped after retiring, filing SSA 44, could knock a few $100s a month off an IRMAA surcharge that was based on a 2-year-old higher income. And someone with modest savings and a monthly income around $1,300, applying for QMB, could see their $202.90 Medicare premium disappear completely, plus prescription costs drop, adding up to that $2,400 to $8,400 a year we mentioned. Three completely different forms, three completely different agencies. All three, money you're already entitled to, that nobody mails you automatically. So here's exactly what to do this week. 1. If you or your spouse had a government job with a pension, call Social Security at 1-800-772-1213. Say the words, Fairness Act, and ask directly whether you're in Group 1 or Group 2. And if you're Group 2, file today, because every month you wait is a month of back pay you can't get. 2. If your income has dropped since a major life event, retirement, divorce, losing a spouse, and you're paying an IRMAA surcharge, request Form SSA 44 the moment you get that determination letter. 3. Whatever your income, look up your state's Medicaid office and ask about Medicare Savings Programs, QMB, SLMB, and QI, even if you think you're borderline. Applying costs you nothing but 20 minutes. And before you go looking for any of these, one warning: the government owes you money is exactly the kind of headline scammers love to imitate. Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid will never call you first and ask for your bank account or card number to release a payment or speed up your form. Every form we named today, SSA 2, SSA 10, SSA 44, SSA 561, and your state's Medicare Savings Program application, is completely free. If anyone asks you to pay to file paperwork for you, that's your sign to hang up and call SSA or your local state health insurance assistance program directly. That help is free too. Hit subscribe. I break down one of these money back in your pocket topics every single week. Did any of these three forms apply to you or someone in your family? Tell me which one in the comments. Quick heads up. I know I teased the RMD deadline at 73 last time. That one's coming right after this, because it's a real, permanent tax trap. But this Social Security news was moving fast enough that I wanted to get it to you first. Next time, turning 73 soon? There's a deadline, and missing it can cost you a 25% tax penalty on your own IRA.